Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. So, MLB The Show just dropped a new update. The big thing here is that you have a wave of new face scans, a handful of fixes across general gameplay and menus, and a pretty meaningful set of Diamond Dynasty adjustments that should make a few modes feel way less clunky. The official game is also highlighting fresh August content around this same window, so this update is landing right in that usual early month rhythm the game likes to use. Let me start with the stuff that most players are probably going to notice first. In the general fixes, they cleaned up a bug where the wrong team decals or logos could show up on sleeves and helmets, which is the kind of thing you might not think about until you see it once and then it sticks out immediately. They also fixed bullpen players wearing the wrong team uniform on the All-Star roster, which sounds minor until you're watching a game and one of your relievers shows up looking like he got lost on the way to the dugout. On top of that, they corrected a pitching result issue where the wrong pitcher could get tagged with a loss in extra innings, and they adjusted Adrian Hauser's pitching animation release point. That last one is a pretty nice touch because sometimes a tiny animation change can make a pitcher feel way better or way worse depending on how the release looks in game. Now, the Diamond Dynasty side is where this update gets more interesting. There was a bug where the XP wheel could show all silver rewards, which is one of those bugs that probably had people staring at the screen wondering if the game had just decided to be rude for no reason. That one is fixed now. They also dealt with the issue that was stopping users from assigning captains within Diamond Quest. And that is a bigger deal than it might sound like if you spend time building squads around captain boosts. They fixed the weird post-game summary issue too, where summaries from earlier moments could keep showing up again after finishing different moments, plus an issue in mini seasons where batting average and home run totals could display incorrectly. And then there was the blank reward showing at the start of a showdown, which is exactly the kind of thing that can kill the vibe before a run even gets going. This is the type of update that quietly removes friction from a mode people play every day. There are also some menu fixes tucked in here that sound simple but matter a lot once you have lived with them for a while. They adjusted various menu elements, fixed the issue where multiple view program buttons could show up when looking at a card in collections, and fixed a bug that could break menu elements after backing out of a co-op game. On Nintendo Switch, they also fixed the incorrect All-Star uniforms display when selected, which is one of those platform-specific problems that can make the game feel uneven depending on where you are playing. It is not the kind of thing that gets people screaming from the rooftops, but it absolutely matters if you care about polish and consistency. And for a lot of players, that is what this update really feels like. Less about new toys, more about making the existing ones work the way they should. The likeness update part is also worth calling out because that is the kind of thing players notice fast, even if they do not always talk about it much. There are a bunch of names getting updated scans or likeness changes, including players like Jazz Chisholm Jr., Wilson Contreras, Aaron Nola, Zach Wheeler, Kodai Senga, Michael Washa, Will Vest, and several others. That gives the game a fresher look, especially when you are rotating through lineups or just running into these guys in regular play and want them to actually resemble the real player. The one thing to keep in mind is that some of those likeness changes will not fully show up until the roster update. So if you boot up the game immediately and do not see every change right away, that is not you missing something. That is just the timing of how they are rolling it out. So when you zoom out, this is not a patch that is trying to reinvent anything. It is more of a cleanup pass, but a useful one. The game had a few annoying visual issues, a couple of mode-specific bugs, and some menu weirdness that probably would have kept bothering people if they left it alone. Instead, SDS came through and knocked out a pretty wide mix of fixes, especially in Diamond Dynasty, while also adding the usual batch of player likeness updates to keep the presentation current. If you are the kind of player who lives in DD, this update probably matters more than it looks at first. If you mostly just play exhibition or franchise-style games, the face scans and presentation polish are probably the part you will notice most, and even that helps the whole game feel more up to date.